I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared.
Now at 6, a family seeks answers and calls for peace after a Cincinnati police officer killed 18-year-old Brian Hinton.
I'm angry because it shouldn't have never happened. I want to find out exactly what steps was taken and the protocol.
The main question is this: was the officer justified in using deadly force? Family and attorneys didn't dispute that Hinton was sitting in a stolen car or had a gun on him at the time of the incident. His cousin says, though, that he should have never been in that stolen car because he was locked out of the house the night before.
I don't know what Senior Hinton saw in the video. The officer definitely wasn't afraid for his life. However, Ryan Hinton was definitely afraid. Before I go any further, hands down, Rodney Hinton was wrong for killing that cop in retaliation for the other cop killing his son. However, he do have a insanity defense when it comes to the law. I'm going to deal with that later. When it comes to the fact that Rodney Hinton went out and murdered this cop in retaliation for his son, it showed me that the father was not in control of the home. He was weak and he was an imbecile. So let me elaborate. I believe that it's his brother that said he's sorry, he was asleep, he didn't open the door. That's not the truth. Here's what I know happened. It's not what I think. I'm just going to get out there. This is what I know that happened. And if you ask me how I know this, I'm going to tell you. You get to the home, because when I was young, I used to hang out in the streets. My mama used to lock the door, tell my brothers and sisters, don't open the door for them. So I go knock on the window, I go knock on the door. And I remember this one time I was in Oklahoma, actually in Anadarko, Oklahoma. I was like 14 years old. I used to sneak out and go out and hang out. I come back and try to get into the house, the door locked. Grandmama won't open the door. I go to the room and knock on the back room window. My nephew come to the window. I say, open the door. I say, open up the window so I can get through the window. He go, oh, mama and grandmama say don't open it up. I say, punk ass motherfucker, open it up so I can get in. So they eventually opened it up and let me in. So I know that the Hinton family heard their son knocking on that door. But they did not let him in because they were saying, look, we got a curfew. If you're not in, you don't get in. So this is why they so distressed. This is why the father actually went out and killed this cop, not because it was the right thing to do, because he knew that he caused the death of his son. I do know we have a history of police brutality among the African American community, but we cannot let that blur the lines on this particular fact. See, we can't let certain things blur a factual situation that's detached from that other situation. You understand me? So if we're going to deal with this subject, we got to deal with it in the right way, with no bias, no racism. We got to clear our minds. He was wrong for killing the cop. The man done retired doing his job. So when you see all those cops in the courtroom at his bond hearing, you got to realize they got some type of feelings for this cop. They friends, they associates, they got family. Of course they going to be there. They going to show that. So don't be mad at the cops for showing the solidarity, because a lot of you people out here got family, friends, and associates. You don't show no solidarity. So I understand why the courtroom was filled with cops. I understand that. I can respect that. Because you got a lot of people, they family member get locked up. They go, oh, he guilty. Oh, he shouldn't have done it. You don't show him no support. But at the end of the day, this is what I want you to take from what I'm saying. Wrong is wrong, right is right. If he wanted to, what he should have did was check himself. But see, let me just back up real quick. If you don't have any principles about yourself, you're gonna do some stupid stuff, okay? You're gonna do some fucked up shit, okay? You gotta work on yourself. In this case, that whole family is a piece of work, okay? The father, if you look at him, he walking in the courtroom at the bond hearing like he did something great. You did something stupid. You did something that a teenager would do. He showed me that he's right where the hell he's supposed to be. Your son is right where the hell he's supposed to be. Dead. That's just my opinion. I'm going to keep it real. See, because I'm going to tell you, if you 18 years old, I'm your father, you in my home, you got a pistol, you're going to get your jackass out my house. You're going to go get a job, but you're not going to be here with that under no set of circumstances. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to dismiss y'all for tonight. I'm really upset.